So Law is pissed and he's going in. This chapter was really dope from that aspect. Law versus Doflamingo one-on-one. Shit is real, especially coming straight off of the Corazon flashback and everything like that. And you see that the thoughts of Corazon bubbling up inside Law and making him, more agitated, wanting to go in for the kill on Doflamingo. And he's going hard, but he's also strategically baiting Doflamingo, giving him these different, just taunting him really with this whole Will of D thing. He's like, what do you think of Straw Hat being here, huh? Doflamingo, huh? Will of D, huh? Oh, by the way, I'm a D too. And Doflamingo, is starting to lose his shit. Doffy is going hard because he's as cool as he's trying to play it off, oh, I don't care about this whole Will of D thing, when he's interacting with Law, he's like, so what? It doesn't matter. You can't stop me. And you can clearly see that it's agitating. You can clearly see that deep down he does care and he's afraid in a sense, and that's why he's getting, sloppy. He's rushing everything. He's going in without thinking, just going hard, and you see that culminating with the end of the chapter with Trebol being like, yo, Doffy, come down, you're in the range of his powers, and he gets hit with that injection shot. I'm just like, yo, he's losing his cool hard. I have not seen Doflamingo really go this hard, having lost his cool, not having a cool little smile on his face, but all but 2 times before this. So yo, Law is really baiting him, taunting him, and he's going hard. Law wants revenge for Korra. At the end of this, he was saying something about, Korra and I believe it was Hyaku or something like that. Was he referring to Kaido? I believe that's Kaido's nickname, 100 Beast Kaido, it's Hyaku. So I'm not sure if that's what he's referring to, but that would make a lot of sense to me. But I don't get where that comes in with Kaido being involved in any sense of the whole Will of D thing. So we'll find out about that later, I'm sure. But really decent chapter as far as the Law and Doflamingo goes. And I'm going to return to that because there are some other things going on. Basically, Oda kind of just showing us things that we already know, reminding us basically of what's going on and how what's still going on and where things are progressing, because we've been in this flashback for, over a month now. So it's nice to get a little refresher. What I want, I'll get to in a second, but we see, Zoro still going against Pica, Diamante squaring off against Kyros in the flower field, fucking Franky versus Senir Pink. Yo, Franky, can you please put that fool down? Can you just put him down? There's no reason for that to still be going on. What else? We see a glimpse of, Sabo and everything, trying to save people. We see Fujitora just sitting there, can't really do much to assist in the situation. I wonder what's going on with the Tontada and Mancheri. I really want them to get that out of the way. They need to save their princess, find out more about her abilities and whatnot, because that is crucial to, the whole side characters that are the Tontada of this arc. So they need to get that out of the way. I hope that's done quickly. What I do want, that's the only thing I want done quickly. We have Law going against Doflamingo right now, and Luffy got knocked out, down the floor or some shit earlier on, so he's gonna have to come back to the fight. So right now it's basically Law versus Doflamingo one-on-one, but Trebol is sitting waiting in the wings, so they could definitely do some sort of double team pincer attack, which would be really, really fucked up. But well, I want to see from Oda in the upcoming chapters, I want him to get the whole Mancheri freedom resolution thing with the Tontada over with in a couple of pages, 3-4 pages. And I want him to dedicate whole chapters to these fights that we haven't been seeing. He can stop with the Law, Trebol, and Doflamingo stuff right now, and go resolve Mancheri really quickly. Go do a whole chapter resolving the Diamante versus Kyros thing, because that is a big subplot of this arc. I will perfectly be happy with a whole chapter of that. Then a whole chapter, maybe more, of this Zoro versus Pica, because in all honesty, this is the second most interesting fight going on. And it's before, when Sabo was going up against Fujitora, that was the most interesting thing in my eyes. But this is the second most interesting fight going on right now, and it's not fair that we're not getting to really see Zoro go in. All we got to see him do was just a little bit of glimpses of the fight here and there, and Pica's supposedly badass as fuck. So let's see that clash go down. Let's see some in-depth fighting between Zoro and Pica. I really would like to see that. The other stuff, Franky just needs to wax Senir Pink and get rid of him. I don't need any. We already saw them trolling each other with this whole manliness bullshit, being pimps and whatnot. It is dope. I liked it. It was funny. It was funny as fuck. Great comedy, but there's no way that Senir Pink needs to be standing up to Franky right now. He needs to get his job done. Take out that factory. Let's go. Let's go, Franky. Stop fucking around. Other than that, all the other fodder fighting around, is unnecessary for me to see. Like Gladius, whatever his name is, the explosion dude. I don't care about any of that. Like Cavendish can just go in, take care of him. Don Chinchao seemed to have taken a hit earlier on this chapter. I honestly, all of these like side fights going on right now are very irrelevant though. Like, yes, these characters, a lot of them are actually really tight, like Chinchao, for example, but it's all very irrelevant. All I want to see is a full expose on Zoro versus Pica and, you know, Diamante versus Kyros. We need that kind of resolution. And then, yes, of course, get the Mancherry stuff out of the way. Just rush it through, get out of the way. And then, after you do that, cut back to the Law versus Doflamingo and Trebol. The only thing that scares me about that, and yes, we'll probably see more of that next chapter, and I'm perfectly happy with that because I'm hype on that fight right now, but I really have, you know, some fear in my heart right now for what's going on, because they can easily double team Law, and Law's like weakened right now. Yeah, he got that injection shot in, and that's all because he's been baiting Doflamingo and taunting him with the Will of D stuff. We get some more insight into the Will of D this chapter. Pretty much stuff we already know, have heard previously with Corazon in the flashback and stuff like that, you know, enemies of the gods and everything like that, and all this stuff. I hope that Oda continues to slowly unfold the mystery behind it, and with him mentioning, you know, haki, like if that's Kaido, why is Kaido also afraid of the Will of D? So lots of questions there, but I'm just really scared right now because for me, like, this fight scares the shit out of me that Law will, like, I've been thinking this since the beginning of Dressrosa, since, you know, he went up against Doflamingo the first time, and then he got shot, and I was like, oh shit, this is it. And I've just been afraid this whole arc that Law is going to die, and that would devastate me. That would absolutely devastate me. And the way that Oda, I can see him doing it, which would make it crazy impactful, is if, you know, Doflamingo and Trebol go in on some sort of double team, because he's starting to overwhelm Doflamingo maybe, and by the time Luffy gets back, Law's down for the count, and that would just be fucked, yo. That would be fucked. So hopefully Luffy can make his ass back there quickly, because Law definitely needs that assistance. Yes, he got the injection shot in, but that's because Doffy has lost his cool, and don't think that Doflamingo doesn't have anything left up his sleeve. It's fucking Doflamingo. He's sinister. I'm scared of him. I'm actually scared of him. So we'll see what happens, but my boy Law went in this chapter using the tactics to, you know, dropping the info of him being part of the Will of D to bait Doflamingo, going in against him, getting that injection shot in. Doflamingo getting mad hasty, so I'm interested to see how that plays out. Hopefully Luffy gets back there quick. Hopefully we get to see more exposition into Zoro versus Pica and Diamante versus Kyros, because I'd like to see how those play out in particular. And that's pretty much it. You know, we saw flashes to everybody, you know, Viola and Usopp chilling over there. Like, we just saw all the main characters, really, that are still in Dressrosa, got little flashes to them. So, that was cool, but we need some more things in depth, and then for the most part, just focus on Doflamingo versus Law, you know, and Trebol versus, and, you know, Luffy, all that whole fight. Let's get into that after we get some fleshed out stuff about Zoro versus Pica. At the very least, I want to see some Zoro versus Pica. If you can just resolve the because the Kyros versus Diamante thing seems like it's really going to be a resolution of, oh, like, feels, I'm protecting my daughter, speech, and then he goes in. Whereas Zoro versus Pica is straight up, Zoro doesn't have time to mince words. Yo, Zoro's gonna go in, and I want to see that action, yo. I want to see that action. So let me know your thoughts on this chapter. It's a pretty decent chapter, getting us back to Dressrosa, getting us back to the action at hand, and seeing Law go in versus Doflamingo. I was really feeling this chapter. So let me know your thoughts. I'm out. Peace.